Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Spider-Man on PS4/5 15 minutes earlier.
Oh, well, we already know that she's okay. Why have us play this part?
Because they just want you to do something different. The MJ/Miles sections of these games are bad. They just are.
They're kind of just the most basic shit, really.
I think that's what it is for me. Yeah, they are just there, and they're just not that intuitive.
It's just one of those. You could just remove them all, and it would have been fine. Like the only one that really matters is the last Miles one, because that does something for his character to set up. You know, him being a Spider-Man later, but the MJ stuff is completely worthless.
Yeah, I mean, I like the cutscenes that are attached to the MJ stuff. There's like the vestiges of the story that could possibly be if they expanded on this, you know? But,
Yeah, the story beats are fine. But we were talking about the issue with the combat and stealth mixing last time, where stealth is kind of pointless because after a while, enemies will just start coming in waves and you have to fight them all anyway. And I feel this was the developers' way of making up for that by giving us other stealth sections that don't involve Spider-Man at all, but they're also just
You're just a normal human doing
boring.
normal human things, so it's like, what can you really do with that?
well, I mean, part of it is just that like they're mechanically basic. They don't really do anything.
Yes.
Like you can have interesting stealth mechanics with just a normal person, but they only designed this for a few segments of the game, so they didn't put much development time into it. So it's all just kind of ducking behind stuff.
How long are these sections in general?
Depends on how good you are with certain things.
Okay, so for this playthrough, like, do we get through this whole MJ stuff in one part?
Yeah. No, they're not long enough to be multiple parts.
I
It's just a
do
matter
like-
of they can...
I do like checking out the stuff in the museum. Katanas are cool.
Yeah, but this is your basic Ace Attorney investigation sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know, you're just wandering around, getting some factoids about everything that you examine.
You know, having them argue about ladders and shit.
I know, but
Absolutely. You know, if this had a stepladder argument, then it'd be all
In
right.
Greatest
mean-
Attorney, they argue about shovels and spades, too.
I'm all good with just basic adventure game stuff. You know, running around, examining things, learning about things. That's my kind of game. So, I'm not terribly against this. I just think they should have done it better. It's also just difficult in general to mesh this kind of thing with the high-flying action of the Spider-Man main event. If they had done it effectively, I think it would have magnified the superhuman element of the Spider-Man portion, but they didn't quite stick the landing in that regard.
Correct. Mr. Fisk has
What are you wearing, lady? What is that blue?
She's doing her best Miles Edgeworth cosplay.
Your name is Rose.
She does look like Miles Edgeworth.
What's with the thing hanging off of her?
That's
though?
what I'm
Like,
talking about. What is
it's
that?
An ascot. It's an ascot.
No, I know
ascot?
that part, but like the physics on it, it's like wobbling around like it's hanging on a thing of string. You know? Like, I mean, other than that, her Edgeworth cosplay is very impressive.
exemplifies the traditional Tarashikomi puddled ink effect.
What the,
What
sorry, am I boring
must she
you?
be thinking of you right now?
the hell are you
I want to see the
doing?
samurai.
The hell are you doing, man?
Just being a nuisance.
I'm bored.
Was there ever anything
I gotta make these interesting somehow.
I want to see the Kingpin. He's in jail.
No, about
What,
the
he's
Kingpin
just on
bowling
display
lanes.
in his own exhibit?
Yes.
Where's Iron Man?
I want to see the Avengers.
Okay.
Try to do your tour guide thing. She waited until I stopped. Passive aggressive AI.
I do like that they bring this back, though. This is the Wilson Fisk collection, right?
Yeah,
So-
because he got arrested, all of his stuff got possessed by the state. And they're
The
auctioning it
Wilson
off.
Fisk
Look what I can do.
The Wilson Fisk collection sounds like the world's worst perfume
Set of cologne.
thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Or when kids bop it as Wilson Fisk. That's what I call Wilson Fisk Volume 5.
I told my DA friend I was was doing a piece on you.
So,
He
like,
mentioned
they
you
took
did
all of his
this.
stuff and put it in a museum. That's...
Photo, please.
Well, they're auctioning it off as more the thing.
Oh, I see. Well, that's one way to pay his prison costs.
Sure, there's nothing you'd like to say, maybe off the record, regarding Fisk's activities.
I mean, does it cost money to go to prison? I mean, I wouldn't.
Here's the main difference.
Yeah, are you charged for being arrested?
Yeah.
Dude.
Here's the main difference between Lois and MJ though. Lois is actually a good reporter.
Well, I mean,
Does she work for the Bugle or for somewhere else?
She's working for the Bugle, yeah.
Okay. Did Jameson quit to do his talk show podcast?
Basically, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
My dear, I think it's
I
time.
think it's time for you to go.
Use the restroom.
I am going. I'm just not moving anywhere.
Follow me. Thank you. This
She just really needs to get her steps in for the day. Like she's been
For the
slacking
record.
on her Fitbit.
she's trying.
I'm at 99
She's
laps.
trying to drive up her 3DS step count so that
What are you doing? Time traveling.
she doesn't.
That's
she
never
didn't-
going to work.
She didn't
I mean, it's
realize
just
that she
never
could just
going-
sit in place and shake the thing, so she's running in circles.
Listen,
MJ,
she
like a
needs more
Tamagotchi.
puzzle pieces. All right, she'll never finish.
MJ, you
past
can't
like
time
this.
travel like that. You're not on the cosmic treadmill. That's the problem.
because the reporter you sent is clearly not working the puff piece we.
Man, that's for fucking sure.
She's here now.
You didn't tell me you'd send a real reporter. God.
Statue is what I think it is. This just turned into a huge story.
What do you mean?
What if you don't move? She can't see you.
Basically.
She starts humming her own stealth theme.
Da, da, da,
Does like stealth
da,
rolls.
na, 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 na.
She's humming the
She just
theme of
starts humming
Terra
James
the whole
Bond.
time.
Just starts singing the Rick James theme to herself.
Dun, 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 dun. I can hear you. Oh,
Wim.
No, you can't.
You know why are you shouting Wim?
It's still a blade of grass.
Arrested.
but yeah, this is what I mean. It's basic stuff.
Turn
look over there.
around.
She
Every
can't
now
see
and
you.
then I get a
Like
little
obviously
bit closer.
shuffling around.
It is most definitely a
Peripheral vision.
Turn
What's that?
around right now.
Actually, don't do that. It would be really annoying.
Sure, Craig.
Oh no! Whoops!
What happens if she catches you?
It's instant game over, and you just start from the checkpoint.
What?
You just need to
Mary
focus on my
Jane's
heart
just
rate.
too embarrassed to keep on going.
Basically,
I mean, she would get kicked out, wouldn't she?
Why didn't the cops take it? I know this statue opens.
well, why would the cops? Take, well, why wouldn't they take it? It's evidence. You ask some really dumb questions, MJ.
Don't worry about it.
I thought she had like telekinesis.
Stop.
MJ being a big old weeb is still very weird to me. Not MJ. What the hell am I talking?
Wilson
Fisk. Fisk being a big old weeb is just really
No,
weird.
there's
to me for
there's a
some reason.
difference between being a weeb, which is more anime and stuff, and just viewing all this
Appreciating culture.
all this Asian artwork as exotic and valuable, and that's a tale as old as time.
I mean,
rich people have been doing
I think
that
that
for
you're
years and
probably
years.
right, but at the same time, what we don't see is the 7 box sets of Lucky Star hidden in those drawers.
Yeah, it's like Fisk is definitely the one that calls it Boku no Hero instead of My Hero Academia. I was like, oh, for God's sake, just call it My Hero Academia, Fisk.
It literally is called My Hero Academia in Japanese. Like the logo is in English, saying My Hero Academia.
Hey, moving this arm costs Cartoon Network $10,000 every time I do it. Raises his arm, lowers his arm, raises his arm, lowers his arm.
Maybe I should turn the head.
Just fuck with the mouth going up and down, have a little puppet show.
I wonder if anybody's animated some YouTube poops with that shit.
But a piece is. I've seen these before.
I mean, possibly. It's time for adventure game puzzle.
Yep, it's basic stuff.
That's not right.
Oh, you have to give him
A
the
different thing that matches the picture, yeah. I'm trying to rush through it because I know it's for a recording for a video, in which case it's making me take longer because I did it wrong.
Yep.
Whoops.
Not the right one.
Gotta love that whenever you do that, like
I'm under pressure to make sure it doesn't take forever, but now I'm doing it wrong, which makes it take longer.
Man, at that point, just fucking crossfade. I don't give a shit.
There we go.
Norman Osborn.
Okay, it would have been. It's like instead of doing the elaborate puzzle, I'm surprised police just didn't Jimmy open the bottom.
Devil's.
Oh,
Oh no, guys.
Fisk's men are here to take his art pieces back.
It's
The
actually,
art pieces are coming to life.
actually it's not Fisk's men. It's Mr. Negative's men.
Not good.
Because remember, there's a power vacuum in the city now.
In there.
Oh,
I mean, there's lots of statues here. Which one?
they're there specifically for the statue. That's unfortunate.
Because
Are they speaking another language,
They're
or was it just in
Chinese?
Oh,
They're speaking
Chinese. Okay.
Is this where MJ reveals that she secretly has octo-camo technology? No, unfortunately.
I was on my way to the exit when I saw you.
Oh, we don't have to sneak past those guys?
You ran in how many circles?
We don't have to sneak past those guys?
Listen,
Okay.
they're after this.
So they skipped over the actually interesting part. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I'll never get it out of here with all these guys around. Hint, hint. Mr. Spider-Man, hint, hint, hint.
Why do I need the hints? I was going to do that anyway.
Yeah, you too. Not exactly how I pictured us meeting again, though.
Funny.
Pictured.
It's exactly how I pictured it.
Well, I mean, you are kind of doing your best Lois Lane thing where you're getting yourself into trouble that you really didn't need to.
Yeah. This was basically Lois Lane's entire shtick in the animated series.
Mary Jane's a really interesting character in that she probably has the most different amount of interpretations out of any Spider-Man character I can think of.
Yeah.
Like, she has a very different personality in the early comics, in the more modern comics, in all
In
the
the
different
Raimi
cartoons,
movies.
in
In the Raimi
movies.
movie. Yeah. And now
Raimi,
this.
the modern movies, like,
These guys want so bad.
it's interesting. I don't.
I think the problem is just no one knows what to do with her.
I mean,
Other than being Spider-Man's girlfriend / wife.
Oh, yeah. I think at that point, though, what would you do?
Well, I mean,
unfortunately, and
Hang tight.
I think that she kind of just is Spider-Man's girlfriend / wife. She doesn't need to be a major character in everything, you know. It's like good. The story is about Peter, you know, and you can have her just be a part of Peter's life, you know. And I mean, granted, yes, there should be more women in these kinds of stories, but it doesn't have to be MJ. You can have other women heroes. You can have Black Cat. You can have Miss Marvel pop up.
Black Cat, one of the worst copycats in comics.
Yes, I mean, she is literally the same woman, but as Catwoman. But I mean, still, you know, you can have Silver Sable. You can bring in any of the X-Men women. You know, it's just I don't think that you need to have Mary Jane be a major character.
I think
because her arc basically ends once she and Peter get married. You know,
it's you know, there are things that you can definitely explore. Is the thing. There are things that definitely. Oh, damn.
Oh,
I failed because my web hit something I didn't mean it to hit. So, whoops.
Oops. At least you were checkpointed.
oh, now we'll never get the actual ending to Phoenix, right?
At least you were checkpointed. Okay, so here's the thing. There are definitely things that you can explore that would be really interesting to explore in the typical Mary Jane sort of character arc. And not all of them are about Peter. It's just an interesting life, I suppose, to examine in detail. The problem is that most of those things aren't really suited to a video game, so this isn't really the story to do that in. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Oh, come on, Lois. I mean, MJ, you couldn't just leave a single building without getting spotted.
Why not just have her hide in
wait
the closet until Peter gets rid of all these guys?
I know, right?
Oh no, the file! Are they going to get away with the file and so the mystery is going to be elongated for another 10 hours?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Good to know that I played a video game before.
Damn.
Like,
What do you mean you've never fought a ghost before? There's plenty of supernatural stuff going on in New York.
There's literally vampires in this city, Peter. Come on.
Speaking as a kind of amateur writer myself, I actually find Mary Jane an interesting character to think about. I'm doing a pretty poor job of explaining in words why that is, but I think that there's a lot you can do with the character is the thing, which is part of why I don't really like. I'm disappointed by how they handled her here, but
I think part of it is just that she's such a blatant copy of another character right now. Like, she's not Mary Jane. She is basically Lois from what I've seen, you know?
yeah.
Like clearly very competent, but just very headstrong.
I would say Lois is more competent than MJ is in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, Lois
from what we've
actually
seen,
gets
yes.
I mean, MJ is trying to do that thing Lois Lane did in the animated series where she was just so used to being saved by Superman that she sort of expects him to show up in the nick of time and is very sarcastic about it. Like that scene.
I love that bit in the plane. Yeah.
Yeah, that scene in the airplane
It's
is
Lois Lane, the one who always gets saved by Superman all the time. That's me. Suddenly the plane just jostles and Superman's outside.
and
It's one of those things where it's just like whenever you see Lois Lane, she normally like, oh, she gets the scoop and then then she's caught, you know, like we see her succeed and then just get in over her head. Like MJ didn't really do anything here. She snuck in and found a file and then lost it. So she didn't really.
Well, she did.
She was also being a really bad reporter by just asking the extremely brazen questions about what she was actually after. It's like, you're not smart enough to wiggle your way into the truth.
Like, a lot of reporters are not very upfront with that kind of thing. Like, that's why reporters have, like, kind of a skeevy reputation, is because the good ones aren't just in your face like, hi, would you tell me about crime you are committing? I would like to know about crime you are committing for my news story on your crime.
Oh no, they're doing the text thing. Suddenly, we're watching the 50 Shades movie, and it's all sorts of cringe. Actually, like, the story behind that movie series is surprisingly interesting. It's more interesting than the movies themselves.
Wait, did all three get movies? I thought that only the first one did.
No, yeah, they all did.
They all did? Okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff like the directors and writers of the first movie got into creative disagreements with the author who wanted it to be more faithful, which is why the first movie is significantly better than the other two. Folding Ideas, I think, is the YouTube channel that went into this whole debacle. The series is called A Lukewarm Defense of 50 Shades of Grey. I recommend watching that when you're finished here in about 1 minute and 40 seconds.
No, but we're on the cusp of something really big.
You know Oscorp would hire you in a heartbeat, right?
Oh, you can't work for Oscorp. You're a sellout.
This work will help millions. I'm right where I want to be, right where I should be.
Almost sounds like it's more important than your other job.
I mean,
What
I've never heard
the
of
hell?
it like that.
What the hell is that facial expression supposed to be?
I don't get it either.
I see what they're going for here. Like, MJ is actually really interested that Peter has found something that seems to mean more to him than Spider-Man. That's actually a pretty nice character moment.
Yeah, all it took of them is breaking up.
I mean, honestly, that does happen, you know. When you break up with someone, you find other things to fill that void, and sometimes those things are better for you than the relationship that clearly wasn't working. Not that I know from experience or anything.
Okay.
That's why you broke up.
Saved by the siren.
Talk to you later.
Go.
Notice how she didn't say yes.
Yeah. Who's ready for our subtle cameo?
Oh. Hi there. To be fair, probably the best Stan Lee cameo, by virtue of being, like, the one you can recognize.
I love that they somehow got him to do that for the fucking Teen Titans movie. It's like, oh no, I shouldn't be here for this at all. It's like, how the hell did they get him to do that?
He's just a fan of all comics, I think.
I mean, I know, but like, I'm more like, how did the Disney overlords let that happen? You know?
Well, because he's not owned by the Disney overlords, he can do whatever the hell he wants. Or wanted anyway.
He's cool like that, yeah.